Good morning. It's January 17th. Welcome to our County Commission meeting. All three county commissioners are here. I ask that we rise for a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. We'll now have the county administrator go over consents and approvals.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have 20 exonerations for $3,804.49. Vouchers for general county, $220,537.72. Coal severance, $11,316.55. 911, $1,814.64. Chestnut Ridge Park, $22. Camp Muffley, $5,643.48. Assessor's valuation, $308. Purchasing card vouchers, general county, $40,799.23. 911, $10,723.30. For a voucher total of $291,164.92. We have budget revision for jail reimbursable, 702,459 capital outlay to 702,214 travel. Position vacancies for boards and authorities, the Board of Zoning Appeals for the Western Planning District and the Planning Commission. Judiciary orders for January 17th, 2018. We have the fourth quarter status report for Lynn Crane. Also one for George Armistead. And that's all.
Have a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes. Introduction of new employees, and I do know we have someone, and I know they're very busy since last night. I heard there was like 25 car accidents at least.
More than that.
Oh, okay.
Much
25 in the city, maybe.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. I'd like to introduce Brittany Height. Today is Brittany's first day starting with us. She comes to us from WVU Dispatch, where she was for over 2 years.
Great.
So we're glad to get her and her experience on board with us.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Welcome.
Welcome. You picked a wonderful time. At least you didn't start yesterday.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. At this time, we will have comments from the public, looking around. Great, and we are honored today to have a president.
Well, that's the first person to say they're honored. Good morning. My name's Blake Humphrey. I'm the student body president at WVU. It's good to be with you all. I told the commission president there that I'd come in here sometime last semester, but before I knew it, the semester was gone, and it was already this semester. I'll just say this, and I'll keep it brief. The reason why I came today is just to introduce myself, but more importantly, to offer any partnership that we can in any way possible to help support the efforts of the county. I know that, Rourke Sizemore, who's worked closely with you, Tom, that he has really been an asset for our organization recently, as have all of our members. But any way that we can partner with you all to make our community a better place, we're willing to do it. And I think that one of the important things that we've discovered this year is that, WVU is a land-grant university. And oftentimes when I go speak at student groups or various events and I tell students we're a land-grant university, their eyes glaze over and they don't know what that means. And I think that we sometimes forget the purpose of why we exist as a student body, and that's to serve not only our city, but our county and our state. And that land-grant mission extends in Mon County. So any way that we can help, would love to do so, and really be a partner for the county in any way possible. And, this reminds me of my old days back home in Wheeling in Ohio County. I used to pal around at the county commission in high school, and they wondered what I had wrong with me. But now at least I have a good reason to be here. So great to be with you all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I do want you to know that we extensively use, on the county recycling program, iServe program.
Good.
And we couldn't have the people to help volunteer if it wasn't for the iServe program. So it's programs like that we're glad we could partner with. And the other thing I do want to tell the other two students, wow, two county commissioners, our thoughts and prayers go out to the WVU student yesterday
Yes.
who was hit by a car. He had his headphones on, car slid down High Street and ran him over, and he's in fair condition now. I mean, I know there are some major complications, so I just want you to know that we are concerned about that, and we want to pass on our,
Appreciate the condolences.
yes, please
Thank
pass that on.
you.
Thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you.
Yeah, that was the top of High Street. The car slid down. The boy never saw it. Any other, I don't believe there's any other comments. Okay, this time I won't forget Colleen and grants.
Thank you.
I marked it off.
I have requests for reimbursements for the Day Report Center grant in the amount of $15,119.48. The JJDP grant Voices 2 in the amount of $1,765.46. Another JJDP grant, this is the DMC, in the amount of $5,477.45. And I have the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $940.80.
Do I have a motion?
Move to have the president's sign.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll sign these right now. I think it's taking longer than our meeting. Great. Okay. At this time, we have a proclamation, Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center on Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month.
There was supposed to be somebody here to read it.
Do you want to wait till the end, just in case? We'll wait till the end in case the person got caught in traffic or snow. Correspondence.
Yes, sir. We received a letter from Charles Clements, he's Senator for the 2nd Senatorial District, regarding the West Virginia State Tax Department. We had requested, back at a work session, we had the legislators in, and we had talked to them about our difficulties getting information from the State Tax Department on the wine and liquor tax distribution and the businesses. He has introduced legislation to allow or require the West Virginia State Tax Department to release this information to the county concerning the liquor taxes collected in the county. I hope this takes care of the problem. Sincerely, Charles Clements.
Is this going to be specific to that, or, in other words, I'm assuming it's specific only to that?
Yes.
Because there's other times that we've
Yes.
requested tax information that has not been forthright and
It
forthcoming.
is Senate Bill 275, and it makes changes to Code Section 60-3-9D, which is the tax on purchasing
Yes,
of
just on alcohol.
intoxicating liquors. So it's actually affecting that particular section.
And I think it's wonderful news because, we have them come in and people always ask, is it important to meet with the legislation? Here's a perfect example. I know we have 2 or 3 other bills. There's another bill, I hope Ed will talk about, that just came out of committee. So we're moving forward. So I'm pretty excited about that. Any other correspondence? Okay. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Okay. Moving quickly. New business. Consideration to approve appointment to the Mon County Historic Landmarks Commission.
Yes, sir. We've got an application from Paula McLean. She is an historian. I believe she works for Mills Group, and she is interested in being a part of the commission.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second with discussion.
Okay. It's been properly moved in second. Discussion?
I just wanted to note that I looked over the application, and this person seems more than qualified
Yes.
for that position. So we just don't make blind appointments, that we do look at the qualifications, and her application certainly vouches for that.
Yes.
With all that now, all those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Thank you. To consider confirmation of appointment by the Mon County Board of Health to the Mon County Abandoned and Dilapidated Property Enforcement Agency.
Yeah, Todd Porosnik they had submitted his name several months ago, but I went back through my file, and obviously we did not confirm him as their appointment. So it's just doing that.
Do I have a motion?
for the record.
Move to approve Todd Prosnick as a member of the Dilapidated Building Commission.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good. Consideration of appointments to the infamous audit committee for the fiscal year 2017.
Ron Snyder was a part of that before. The procurement manual from the state auditor's office said that that has to be done at least every 2 years. So it's been 2 years since we've.
Do we need another appointment?
Can you give me some background? Who's on it? I mean, who needs to?
I believe your county clerk served on it.
Right.
Commissioner Hawkins,
have.
I think, was on it, is on it, or was on it. Ron Snyder was on it.
Blake, you want to be on it?
So it needs to be at least 3 people,
Okay. And we
no
currently
more
have
than
2.
5.
Okay.
And we currently have 2?
You're on it again?
Currently have 2.
You want to be on it again?
My suggestion would be to add your chief tax deputy. 'Cause
Okay.
we never did that formally before. If Carrie's still willing to serve, I assume she is.
Yes, she's shaking her head.
Okay.
Okay, and then if, Ed, if you'd like me to do that for you,
That's
it's
fine.
up to you.
Oh,
That's
good.
fine.
I think the reason
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Snyder served was because that one of the members of the committee has to be an outside citizen.
Oh,
Okay.
You may want to look at the
okay.
requirements for that, but I think that that's why we selected him. He came to all the, he was at that time coming to all the county
Right.
commission meetings and was here, and we used him in that capacity.
I mean, I'll be honest, I will defer to Sean just simply because his field of expertise might lend far better than myself, but I'm not trying to get out of work.
No, that's
Okay.
fine. And per Carrie's comment, or the clerk's comment, we do need to find an outside
Yeah.
individual.
Well, did you want to just do Sean and Kelly right now, and then we will also come back next week, and Carrie for the 3 for right now, and then we'll come back? Do I have a motion on those 3, and then we'll come back?
I move to approve that, those appointments.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
If
so that's 3, and we will look at
If there's
if that
anybody
additional
here that's
is needed.
interested.
Yeah, anybody interested, yeah.
Ben?
Or if you're not at a meeting, you generally get appointed. So
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
appoint somebody.
Yeah,
Just for clarification,
Sure.
it was Commissioner Sikora, Kelly
Kelly.
Palmer, Chief Tax
And you.
Deputy, and myself.
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any other new business?
Except
Okay.
for the proclamation,
Okay, well, let's do the proclamation now, since I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. Whereas the United States was founded upon the principle that all people are created with the unalienable right to freedom, and added the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, making slavery illegal. And whereas human trafficking is modern day slavery, claiming nearly 40 million victims worldwide, and found in the United States most often in the form of sexual exploitation, forced labor, involuntary servitude, and debt bondage. And whereas this horrific crime, which denies human dignity and freedom and fuels organized crime, exists in our nation, our state, and our own community. And whereas, even though awareness of this crime is growing, human trafficking continues to go unreported due to its isolating nature, the misunderstanding of its definition, and the lack of awareness about its indicators. And whereas increased community education on how to identify victims of human trafficking, along with increased knowledge of local resources and services for those affected by these criminal actions, can help restore freedom and dignity to identified survivors, as well as help diminish the number of future victims. And whereas every business, community organization, faith community, family, and individual can make a difference by choosing products that are not made by forced labor, by working to protect our young people from sexual exploitation, by addressing the problems of internet sex trafficking and pornography, and by becoming more aware of the problem and possible solutions. And whereas the Monongalia County Commission joins the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center in their dedication to providing community outreach and education, legislative advocacy, training, promotion of services to survivors of human trafficking, and collaboration with law enforcement. Now, therefore, we, the members of the County Commission of Monongalia County, West Virginia, recognize the month of January 2018 as Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month, and encourage all citizens to become more informed on this growing problem, to be vigilant and report suspicious activity, and to work towards solutions to end trafficking in all its forms in our community. If you see something that doesn't look right, take action and call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888, dated January 17, 2018.
Move for approval?
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any reports from elected officials? Seeing none, we'll go immediately to reports from county commissioners. This time, Sean, it's your turn first.
I'm sorry, did you have something?
Oh, I apologize. I looked over, I didn't see you.
It's okay.
I apologize. I looked over and you were typing, so I'm sorry. Whoops.
We actually had some new business
Oh, good.
for you today. The notice of precinct changes. We are in an election year, beginning on the 1st of January, and so due to that fact, we have some changes in our precincts for the May primary election, a temporary change from the Star City St. Mary's Catholic Church. They're still undergoing renovations for the May primary election, so we will temporarily need to relocate them to the Knights of Columbus building.
Okay.
That will be only for the May primary. We should be back at our normal location there in November of 2018. But we are also needing to make some permanent precinct relocation changes. Precinct 10 from the Monongalia County Health Department, we are going to relocate them to the Alumni Center. It's a much easier location for the citizens to find and get in and out of, and we are also hopeful that we're going to be using the Alumni Center for an early voting location as we did in the past, and so we can just maintain a presence there on Election Day and save the need to move equipment in and out of the health department. The Restoration Church International Precinct 44 and 48, we used in the last special election the Granville Fire Department Bingo Hall number 2. They used to call it the Firehouse there in Osage. That proved to be a very good location for us, a lot easier for the voters to find that location, and plenty of adequate parking and able to get in and out. So we're looking to just permanently relocate from the Restoration Church to that location. And finally, in Westover, we were using the West Side Senior Center down below the City Hall as an early voting location and an election day location. We were not able to make out arrangements with the senior center for that location again, but Westover did have their brand new community building available. So we are looking to move our early voting location in Westover and our election day presence for the city of Westover to the Westover Community Building. And so we ask for your approval on both of those. And I've also presented, in addition to the Westover Community Building and the WVU Alumni Center, we will have early voting at the Mountaineer Mall and at Mason-Dixon Park. I have not identified a location for us to hold it in Pierpont. We had a 5th location at Pierpont last election. But I will continue to see if we can find one of the storefronts that may be available there. And if so, then we will add that to our early voting location. But right now, we have 4 that we have confirmed.
Okay, I'd like to split the motion. So first, the temporary Star City, do I have a motion on that?
Move for approval?
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, motion on the permanent. Do I have a motion on that?
On the permanent?
Yeah, the permanent changes.
The fixed
So
changes.
one was temporary, the others are permanent. So that we can separate.
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 And in addition, just some notices, we are still undergoing a candidate filing period that will run through the end of the month. January the 27th is the last day. We observe courthouse hours for a candidate filing, so we will not be open on Saturday, January the 27th. So I just want to make sure that the public is fully aware of that postmarked candidate filings are accepted, but
The responsibility to make sure it is postmarked is on the individual. Many of us know that the post office doesn't necessarily
Yes.
postmark mail because it's dropped in the mail receptacle. So if anyone is interested in waiting until the 27th to file their candidacy, they need to make sure that they make arrangements with the post office to have that postmark. Absentee balloting for anyone who's in the military or overseas voters. We are starting to take those applications and have been since the 1st of January. For all domestic absentee applications, we can start taking those on February the 13th. And then absentee ballots will go out beginning March the 23rd. And then we are also starting on our poll workers also now that we've got our precincts lined up. So we will be notifying our political party executive committees for that also.
Thank you very much for your report. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, I will ask, Sean, do you have any?
Now, this week isn't as busy as last week, but we do have a few things going on this week, but not too much to report. Last Thursday, I had all in one day, I had the Morgantown Area Alliance / Partnership meeting in the morning, and then we had the Red Committee meeting and Development Authority meeting. So a lot of good things going on in regards to those meetings. Tomorrow we have our MMMPO meeting, and that looks like a pretty big agenda. Got a couple hundred pages of reading to do to prepare for that meeting. But other than that, just more want to focus on the cold and the roads, and hopefully everybody's dealing with it fine. My kids are fine with the extra days off from school, but seriously, yesterday was a pretty bad day trying to get around in town. So hopefully everybody's staying warm and safe and had a nice Martin Luther King Day weekend. Catherine, being here from VOY, reminded me of one thing. About this time last year, we were trying to figure out what was happening with VOY being on Comcast, and I said I'd give them a year or I'm going to cancel my TV. So I'm officially going to call and cancel my TV today because I don't see any end in sight. It's not your fault. I'm glad you still show, and we're
Yes.
glad to see you, but
Yes.
it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. You come here and report, and nobody in Morgantown can ever see it,
Right.
other than if they go looking for it. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Ed?
Thank you. That, we have still a issue going on with Preston County, I think, because I was questioned on that this past weekend. This issue is not dead to try and have this designation be changed, that we are not a suburb of Pittsburgh.
But the fastest path is through,
Yes.
that's going to be through direct. And,
Yes.
Yes.
So Comcast is probably looking a lot more bleaker.
Was in Charleston for the State of the State address, and then stayed last weekend for the West Virginia Fairs and Festivals. I'm happy to report that all the ladies from Monongalia County represented us very well, and that the Monongalia County Fair Queen, Alex Schaefer, did make it into the round of 15, of the finalists. So that's really quite an honor, and a wonderful and well-spoken young lady. Speaking of the land grant institution, one of the things about land grants is that they do establish and have extension services. So on that note, I would like to congratulate Becca Fenton Clark for being recognized as by her peers for extension as a distinguished service award. And she's been with us for 10 years now, and we've seen a complete resurgence of the program and youth services as well as extension overall. That's coming up on a busy week. Tomorrow, I believe all of us will be addressing the Leadership Mon class that's coming up. And next week is really, I see it's full, Landmark Commission Extension Service meeting, Camp Board meeting, Fair Board meeting, and then on Thursday, the Chamber Dinner. So next week is going to be rather interesting. I think that we've also received word from Joe Statler that one of the bills that we personally had asked for a change in the property dispersal. In other words, as it sits right now, we are allowed as a commission only to give property to the firemen and not to a nonprofit. So that has passed out of committee right now and is proceeding forward, that perhaps we'll be able to endow certain properties to nonprofits so that we may have more expanded services on the nonprofits than what they can do under the auspices of county commission owning the property. And I think that's about all I have today.
Okay. Well, thank you, and you're right. I can see going third and last. Everyone's
Got anything
covered the
to say?
major issues. I do want to, Blake, I do want to thank you for coming here, and you know me, I think out of the box. So in the interim time, I have 2 suggestions and 2 ideas. Let's do the first one where if my other county commissioners would be willing, that we would attend one of your meetings for 10 or 15 minutes to be there to answer questions. I'd also ask the sheriff to come, because that seems to be a lot of questions. So if we could work out a date, we'd show up and just show that we're trying to work together. That would be the first. And I'm going to go with the second one, which I think is key to WVU and to this community and the opioid crisis. And I would like to throw out that I know we're trying to organize between the state and the county and the university. I think we need to move on this immediately and just see if you'd be willing to work with us when we come up with these programs to try and see how we can help resolve some of these issues. So those are the 2 that I want to throw out immediately, if you could take back to WVU. The second thing, I want to congratulate Mills and, March Weston. Actually, 2 days ago, they turned on the gas that actually, if you go out to the courthouse square, you don't see any snow. And it's wonderful. I mean, and the savings that we now will be able to have from the individuals not having to put the salt, from going to other buildings and working on the other buildings, this is really, and the safety is just wonderful. And once this opens all up, I think, people will be able to see that. And the third thing is what Sean mentioned. Please be careful at this time with the roads. I watch a TV show, and the most important thing they said is when you see fewer people on the roads, it doesn't mean you're supposed to speed up when the roads are this bad. So again, the county commission is having, in fact, Don Williams coming in next week with the DOH to talk with us. We are in touch with them all the time, and we are trying to work with them. But please understand that the county commissioners do not pave, shovel, do anything to the roads or repair, and there seems to be some confusion on that. We will try and work with the DOH, but, we will do everything we can. But please, we are trying to work, and the situation has been, since the weather's been one day and since Christmas over freezing, a lot of it hasn't cleared up. And I know they only have 8 to 10 workers. They're short 13 to 15, and I do hope that people might want to apply for that job. Please do not blame the DOH workers. They are working extremely hard, and that's what I want to get across. Any other?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and adjourned. We be gone.